Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hope all of you are safe and sound. Today is our last exercise of logarithm, exercise 3.4, and also the review exercise of this chapter. There are 5 questions in this exercise, but question 1 having 8 parts. Part 1 is use log tables to find the values of 0.8176 multiply 13.64. Students, you must do all the steps. That first step is let x is equal to this, then taking log to both sides, then we convert the multiplication sign into plus, and then the next step. If you miss any one step from the beginning, then your whole answer will be wrong. There will be no marks. So you must start from the beginning, and in each and every question you must mention that x is equal to this and taking log to both sides. After applying the laws, then you calculate the logarithm and any logarithm. Yes, first let x is equal to 0.8176 multiply by 13.64. Now taking log to both sides, we apply the log to both sides. Log of x is equal to log of 0.8176 multiplied by 13.64. Multiplication will be changed into addition. This is the first law of logarithm. You remember that we done this exercise 3.3, where log mn is equal to log m plus log n. So according to that law, we change the multiplication side in addition, and we also use log with both the number, the first one and the second one, log 0.8176 and also with log 13.64. Now the procedure is same that we adopt in 13.2, and I told you that first you will convert the number into scientific notation, and at the end the power of the 10 will be the characteristic of the given number. In the same way we convert 0.8176 into scientific notation and we get the power of 10 is minus 1. And now is the turn to check the number into the log table. 81. The first two number, as I told you that we always take the first two number because the log table, the first column start with 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Two-digit numbers are there, so that's why we choose 81 and we check 81 in the column of 6. Sorry, column of 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 9, 1, 2, 2. The number is 9122. Now we check the same number in the column of difference, which is 6. In the differences column, you check in 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 is there. So when we add 9122 and 3, it will become 9125, which will be over Mentisa. Minus 1.9125. This is the log of the given number 0.8176. Now come to the next number 13.64. Again we check 13 in the column of 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Here is 1335. Now in the difference column there is 4. Again we check 3 in the column of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see students, double numbers are written there, the first row and the second row. But our required log is in the second row, so that's why according to this we will check the difference in the second row, not in the first row. According to this, where difference is 15, 13. with the difference is 13, so we add 1335. 13 in that number, Mantissa will become 0.1348. These are steps are familiar for you because we have done in 3.2. Now the next step here, we separate the characteristic and the mantissa. Minus 1 plus 0.9125. Minus 1 is a characteristic and 0.9125 is over mantissa. Same in the next bracket, we separately write 1 and the mantissa is 0.1348. Open the brackets. Because there is positive sign in between the two brackets, so no change becomes in the sign. Otherwise, if we have a negative sign between the brackets, then all the sign of the second bracket will be changed. We write the characteristic in the one bracket and the mantissa in the second one. Characteristic is minus 1 and plus 1. Mantissa are 0.9125 plus 0.1348. When we add the characteristic, the answer becomes 0, and when we add the mantissas, we have 1.0473. If we add 0 in this number, no change will become in this number. Otherwise, if we have a number other than 0, definitely the number will change. Log x is equal to 1.0473. Now is the turn of anti-logarithm. We take anti-log to both sides. As I told you before that anti-log is the inverse of log. When we apply anti-log on the log, the both logs will be cancelled and only x will be left there. And we also apply the anti-logarithm table on the numbers and we find the answer of x. Now, I told you 1 will be the characteristic. We will not use 1 over here. Only we check 0.04 in the column of 7. You see that in the anti-log table, the first column, all the numbers start with decimal. 0.00, 0.01, 0.02, 0.03. Over number is 0.04 and we'll check it in the column of 7. You see that there is 11114. 1114 is there, and again the difference column is 3 and this is 1. When you add 1114 and 1, this become 5. 1115 is our answer, but we have the characteristic 1. So according to the rule I told you, if we have positive characteristic, it means that after the two numbers you will put the decimal. So applying the same rule, 11, the first two digits are 1, 1. After 11, we put the decimal. 11.15 is our required answer. Students, to verify your answer, you also can use a calculator by multiplying your question directly, and you see that the answer will be 11.15. Part 5. 1.23, 0.6975 in the denominator, 0.0075 and 1278. Two numbers are in the numerator and two numbers are in the denominator. Now again the same step, but first we suppose that let x is equal to this number, then taking log to both sides. Now you see there is multiplication and division at a time. It means that we will apply two laws of logarithm, log first log and second law. Both laws we will apply here because 1.3 and 0.6975 is in the numerator, so we use a plus sign in between them, and the number 0.0075 and 121278, they both are in the denominator, so that's why we put the negative sign with both the number because the both numbers are in the denominator. Now again applying the same rule, we check what is the caret log of 1.23. 1.23 you will convert it into the scientific notation and the characteristic will become 0. In the table of log, we check 12 in the column of 3 because there is no other number, so only you check 12 in the column of 3 and there is 0.08991 because the characteristic is 0 and our mantissa is 0.08991. Come to the next number. Again, the same. You will convert it into a scientific notation and you see that the power of 10 will become minus 1. And again, in the log table, we check 69. 69 in the column of 7 and also in the difference 5. You see that the mantissa will be 0.8435. Characteristic is minus 1 and mantissa is 0.8435. Now is a turn of the third number. Minus sign is already there and when you convert 0.0075 and as you know whenever numbers start with the decimal always the power of 10 will be negative. So we see that the characteristic become minus 3 and 0.0075. You check 75 in the column of 0 because there is no number after 75. So that's why we check in the log table 75 in the column of 0 and the mantissa become 0.87506. Characteristic is minus 3 and mantissa is 0.870506. Come to the last number. This is minus log 1278 and there is no decimal in between this number. So we write minus. After converting it into the scientific notation, we see that the characteristic is 3 and you check 12 in the column of 7 and after this in the difference column of 8. The number is 3.10658. So the mantissa of 1278 is 0.10658. Now the next step, we separate the mantissa and the characteristics. 0.08991 will be written as 0 plus 0.08991 minus 1 plus 0.8435, then minus within the bracket because the characteristic is minus 3, so we write minus 3 plus 0.87506 and the last number minus 3 characteristic is plus, so we write here plus 3.1065. Open the brackets here because we have the negative sign before the brackets, so that's why the signs of the last two brackets will be changed. Plus will be changed into minus and minus will be changed into plus. We write all the characteristics in one bracket and all the mantissas are in the other bracket and there must be a positive sign in between these two brackets. Characteristics are 0, minus 1, plus 3, minus 3. After the simplification, characteristic become minus 1. And after calculating all these mantissas, the answer is 0.0 minus 0.04815. When you simplify these two numbers, minus 1 and minus 0.0485, we get minus 1.04815. Because we have the negative characteristics, now this whole number is mantissa minus 1.8. To make it positive, we always take the number greater than that number. There is 1 and after 1, 2 is greater. Although all the numbers are greater than 1, but the closest number which is greater than 1 is 2. So that's why we add 2 and we subtract 2. Add 2 within the bracket and subtraction will be outside the bracket. We add these two numbers minus 1.04815 plus 2. Now you see students, the mantissa become positive. This is 0.95185. To make only this number positive, we will do this step. If your characteristic, the whole number become minus, you will add the greater number and also subtract the same number. Now we have minus 2 is over characteristic and minus, sorry, and 0.95185 is over mantissa. Now what is the last step? Antilog. Taking antilog to both sides, you will check 0.95 in the column of 1 in antilog table because this is 0.95. We will check 0.95 in antilog table in the column of 1 and in the difference of 5. 00895 will be there. Characteristic is plus 2. It means that after the two number we will put the decimal. Your answer will be when we check 0.95 in 1, then our answer will become 0.0895 because characteristic is minus. Characteristic is minus, so that's why we put the sign 0.0895 will be over required number. If your characteristic is minus 2, it means that we will add 1 0. If characteristic is minus 3, we add 2 0. Then point and then we write 2 0 and then we write the number which we get from the antilog table. If you have minus 1, then your number will start with the decimal. Part 7 is 83 multiply cube root of 92 over 127 and fifth root of 246. Again, first we suppose that log x is equal to this number, taking log to both sides, and then we will apply the laws of log. You see that first three laws will apply here. We also have the values in the power. Multiplication will be changed into addition, and because two numbers are in the denominator, it means that both numbers will be with negative sign. Log 83 plus log 92 raised to the power 1 by 3 minus log 127 minus log 246 power 1 over 5. In the next step, you will convert the power into the coefficients. Log 83 is equal to 1 by 2 log 92 minus log 127 minus 1 by 5 log 246. Now is our turn to find the log of these numbers. When we convert 83 into scientific notation, the characteristic will become 1. And you check 83 in the column of 0 because there is no number after 83. So that's why in the log table you check 83 in the column of 0. The mantissa will be 0.91907. The next number is 92. Again, the characteristic will be same because 83 also characteristic is 1. So according to this 92, the characteristic is 1. And again, you check 92 in the column of 0 in log table. The mantissa will become 0.96378 minus 127, convert it into scientific notation. The characteristic become 2 and you check 12 in the column of 7 in log table. You see that the Mantissa will be 0.1038 minus 1 by 5, and again you check 24 in the column of 6, and after converting in the scientific notation the characteristic become 2. Second and the last term will be divided by the numbers which are given there. Second term will be divided by 3 and the last term will be divided by 5. The first number will be same, which is 1.91907. Second number become 0.65459. The third number become minus 2.1038 and the last number become minus 0.47819. Now in the next step, what will we do? We separate the characteristic and the mantissas. We split the number into characteristic and the mantissa. 1 plus 0.91907 plus 0 plus 0.65459 minus, because there is negative sign this, so before the bracket we put negative sign and within the bracket we write 2 plus 0.1038. Same, the last term will be written as 0 plus 0.47819. Now open all the brackets and you see that the sign of the second and third bracket, third and fourth bracket will be changed because there is negative sign before them. Equating the characteristic, we have 1 plus 0 minus 2 minus 0, and all the mantissas we will write them within the other bracket, and there is a positive sign between these two brackets. When you solve the characteristic, minus 1 is there, and when we simplify the all mantissas we get 0.99167. After simplifying with minus 1, you get minus 0.00833. Because there is 0, so it means that the greater number of 0 is 1. So that's why we add plus 1 and we subtract minus 1. After adding 1 and minus point 0.00833, simplifying them, we see that 0.99167. Now mantissa become positive. And minus 1, the remaining minus 1 will be the characteristic of that number. We taking antilog to both sides. Antilog of log x is equal to antilog of minus 1.99167. You check 0.99 in the column of 1 and in difference 6 in the antilog table, because in the antilog all the numbers start with decimal. Characteristic is minus 1. It means that our number will start with the decimal 0.9811. Students, as I told you that to verify your answer, you can simplify your question directly with the calculator and you see that both the answers will be same. The eighth part of this question 1, 438 cube, square root of 0.056 and the fourth power of 388. First we take let x is equal to this number, then we take both sides log. The numerator will be changed into plus and the denominator we have a negative sign over there. Log 438 power 3 plus log 0.056 power 1 by 2 minus log 388 power 4. Next step, all the powers will be the coefficients of the log. 3 log 438 plus half of log 0.056 minus 4 log 388. Again, you convert 438 into scientific notation and the power of 10 will become 2. The characteristic is 2 and the mantissa you check 43 in the column of 8 in log table. The mantissa will become 0.64147. Same converting it into the scientific notation because the numbers start with the decimal, so definitely the power of 10 will be minus and our characteristic is minus 2. We check 56 in the column of 0 because there is no number after 56. The mantissa become 0.7481 minus 4. We check 38 in the column of 8 and the characteristic obviously positive because there is no decimal in between the number 2.58833. Now the first term will multiply with 3, the second will divide it by 2 and the fourth number will be multiplied with 4. Again, we separate the mantissa and the characteristics. The first term becomes 7 plus 0.92442 plus minus 1 plus 0.37405 minus 10 plus 0.35532. Now open all the brackets and you see the change will become in the last bracket minus 10 and minus 0.35532. We equate all the characteristics within one bracket and all the mantissas in the second bracket. 7 minus 1 minus 10 and all the mantissas are here. When we simplify the characteristic, minus 4 will be there and the mantissa become 0.94315. After simplification, this number with minus 4 plus 0.94315 will become minus 3.05685. Again, we have a negative number, so make it positive. The greater number minus 3 is 4, so we add plus 4 and minus 4. After adding 4 and minus 3.05685, we have there 0.94315 and this will be 4. And also we have 4 minus 4.94315. Now is the turn of anti-logarithm table. We check 0.94 in the column of 1 and in difference 3. Because the characteristic is minus 4, so we put 3 zeros before the number 0.008773. I told you if the characteristic is 3, then we put 2 zeros. If the characteristic is 2, we put 1 zero. Here characteristic is 4, so we put 3 zero before the number and then we put to the left side decimal. Question number 2. Now these are word problem questions. A gas is expanding according the law P, V, N is equal to C. The value of P, V, and N is given. You write the formula PVN is equal to C. Apply the log to both sides. Multiplication will be changed into addition and also the power will become the coefficient of log. Putting the values log 80 plus 5 by 4 log the value of V is 3.1 is equal to log C. After finding the log of 80, this 1.90308, 5 by 4, the log 3.1 is this and log C because we are finding the value of C. So the log C will be the same. Calculating these numbers, we get 2.51728 is equal to log C. Calculate the antilogarithm of 2.15178. The value of C is 329.06. Students, because all the numbers are here positive, so you can calculate with the calculator directly. You can find the log directly with the calculator. You can take log, then press 80. The characteristic, the whole number will become to you. Again, press the button of log and write 3.1. You will got the direct answer of log 3.1. After simplifying, when you press shift and log, in some calculators there is inverse, the button of inverse. You press the button of inverse, then log, then write this number 2.51728. You get the number 329.06 directly by calculator. Because we don't use the calculator in question 1 because most of the characteristics become negative and the answer will be changed. If you find the use a calculator in question 1, then where the characteristics are negative, your Mentisa become wrong. It will be changed. Same in question 3, p is equal to 90, 5 power minus q by 10. Take the log to both sides. After applying the laws, we see that log 18 is equal to log 90 minus q over 10 log 5. Here again, you can directly find the log of 18 with the calculator. Log 90 and log 5. 1.95424 is here. We shift to the other side and minus q, and the value of log 5 will be left here. After the simplification, because we are calculating the value of q, so that's why we shift the coefficient of q to the other side and we divide it. The number 0.69897 will be divided by 0.069897. The answer is 10 units. No need to apply here the anti-log because there is no log with q. If in your question the log at the end you have the value of log, then you will take the anti-log to both sides. Here only q is there and we find directly the value of q, which is 10 units. Question number 4, area of the circle is given. A is equal to pi r square and also the value of pi r is given. Apply the log. Log pi is equal to log r square. It becomes 2 log r. The value of pi is 22 by 7 already given in the question. You will take the log 22 by 7. You divide 22 by with 7 and you see 3.14 and you take the log of 3.147. This is 0.49732. Also log 15 is 1.17609. Multiply it with 2. After the addition 2.8495. And now we have log a, so that's why we take the anti-log of both sides. In the previous question, there is only q, so we didn't take anti-log in that one. But here we have log a, so that's why we take the anti-log to both sides and we get the value of a, which is 707.135. The last question of this exercise is b is equal to 1 by 3 pi r square h. You are familiar these formulas we done in the midterm of class 8. Apply the log to both sides. Log 1 by 3 pi r square h, because they are multiplying with each other, so we put the positive sign within all these log. Log 1 by 3 can be written as log 1 minus log 3 plus log 3.142, because this is the value of pi. 2 log r, the value of r is given 2.5 and the value of h is given 4.2. When you take the log of all these numbers after the simplification, we have log v is equal to 1.439322. Now taking anti-log to both sides, we have v is equal to 27.49. This is our required answer. Now students, the remaining part and also the review exercise, you will do all the questions by yourself. I already done all the questions for you and I paste the copy here. After doing the question, you can tally your solution with these given solutions. Come to the review exercise of 3 multiple choice questions. The option of first is C, the second one is B, the third one is D, fourth is A, 5 is B, 6 is A, 7 is D, 8th is C, ninth is B, and the last is C. I also write the blanks for you. For common logarithm, the base is 10 that we are using in our question. The integral part of the common logarithm of the number is called the characteristic because the characteristic is positive as well as negative also. So that's why this is called integral part. The decimal part because in Mantissa start with the decimal, so that's why that part is called the decimal part. If x is equal to log y, then y is called the anti-logarithm of x. If the characteristic of the logarithm number is -2, then we put only 1 0 immediately after the decimal point. The characteristic of the logarithm of the number is 1. That number will have 2 digits in its integral part. Also, I paste the review exercise of question 3, all the parts of question 3, and also question 4, 5, and 6. You will do the questions by yourself and you will tally your solution from these pasted questions. If you have any problem, any query about it, you can ask me in the Zoom class or you also WhatsApp if you find any step or any confusion in checking the log table or anti-logarithm table. I told you that don't use calculator for the log or anti-log. Only if you have the positive characteristic, then you can calculate the log directly with the calculator. You can use in the word problem because the characteristic is positive over there. Okay, students, we will meet inshallah in the Zoom meeting. Allah Hafiz.